So quick before we go here, I have a little question. It's not really a trivia question, but we got a little bit of time here. So I wanted to ask you guys, man, like it's if you're booking Cody Rhodes right now, Jesse, who you booking? Who's the first program that you would book him with right away?
I think it's a #1 contender feud between him and Drew McIntyre. If you can lose the fucking Highlander shit.
I like that. I don't mind that. I mean, even with the gimmick, I really don't mind the bell to bell is going to be great either way. But I think I completely agree with what you're saying as far as cheese factor.
Okay. All right, for me, what I say, just for whole work rate and chemistry wise, and knowing that they already had a little meeting on the dark matches, Kevin Owens. I'd love to see a little program with KO and Cody. They got a little history with the Bucks there. They could work a little bit of something. You can get some good shit going right there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in a perfect world, it's Rollins goes baby, and they have like a kind of a not necessarily a tag team, but kind of make a run towards like the bloodline. I mean, I wouldn't even mind seeing some Usos versus Rollins like just 2-on-1s because I feel like they'd be awesome. I feel like they'd find a way to make it really, really damn cool. And then
So
on top of
they'll be the Dusty Boys.
yeah, there you go, the Dusty Boys. Oh, I love it. I don't mind that at all. Actually, I'm totally into it. Oh, somebody said because I did see this fantasy booking thing online, and it had like thousands of likes. But it's like it was supposed to be for like the night after Mania. Obviously, this didn't happen. But it's like he forms this new stable, and he just like Cody Rhodes. It's like a babyface version of what the NWO would have like. It's like the NWO, but a babyface NWO. Like they're coming in to change WWE for the better because that's what everybody wants. And it's like called the Resurgence. And the first person he brings in is like Zack Ryder, because he's been like killing it on the indies. And then like it goes a couple months and they like do this tease, and then Bray comes back in, and it's like, oh god, like I feel like that would be so good because first of all, like I mean, Cardona is Cardona. He doesn't really have the legacy thing, but he could like tease this legacy thing and try to like even have these backstage things with Orton. This is all typed out in like these tweets. I got to shout out the whoever's handle it was, but it's like, this whole time you think it's Orton because it's a legacy wrestler that he wants back, that he really wants or whatever, and it ends up being Wyatt. And I was like, oh, that's so good. Like it's so well written.
Great.
Yeah, it's impossible to pull off, but I love the idea of the Resurgence as a name too. I thought that was cool.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. You're right. It's pro wrestling. Anything is possible here. Yeah, Jesse, did you had a little trivia for us this week?
It wasn't me actually. It was Wexley that wrote the question.
Wex got the question this week. Wex, where you at, bro?
It wasn't more so like a trivia question, but it was more so of your opinion. Who do you think in this situation? Because there's multiple answers of this, and as we saw, old Stone Cold have his first match in 19 years, and Cody Rhodes make his return after 6 years. Out of all the great WrestleMania returns, what was your favorite? What do you think is the biggest, most impactful WrestleMania return of all time?
Ooh.
So I have a weird one.
Go ahead.
Because it was 1996, and I maybe fell out for 2 years, but I was still renting VHS tapes from Hollywood Video and Movie Gallery and shit like that when that was still there. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, one thing, not my favorite wrestler, probably on the list of my least favorite wrestlers, but Ultimate Warrior coming back at WrestleMania 12 was impactful enough to make me notice. Therefore, I think that it might be a contender.
Okay, I think that's a pretty good one.
I mean, WrestleMania Returns, for me, it's more personal just because it's like the best wrestling memory of my life. Me and my buddy Kenneth Nixon, shout out good old Kenny. Like this was 2017, and it's like Friday, like Access is going, and it's like 6 or 7 at night, and he was like, hey, if I got tickets to Mania, you want to drive? Like, and it's like 14 hours to Orlando, or it might be like 16 or something. It's something ridiculous. And I was like, yeah. At the time, I had like a little 2012 Nissan Versa hatchback, so it's pretty much like a go-kart, like with like a decent roof. And we just threw some backpacks in there, and we drove down there. And he's actual buddies with Jeff Hardy, so we hung out, and we literally shared Jeff Hardy's suite. Like he had a 2 joining room like suite, and so we stayed with him for the weekend. And we got there, and he let us in, and he had to go do Colt Cabana's podcast. So he's like doing Colt Cabana's podcast. We're in there in the hotel room, and he's got like every belt that he's ever won, because for, I guess, WrestleCon or whatever, like just laying out on his bed. And I'm just like, I mean, these are like the ring worn belts. It's just,
oh shit.
Yeah, that was just, I mean, so that moment. And then like we were, dude, his friends and family that we stayed, like he got us tickets into Mania. We went to Super Card of Honor that they wrestled the Bucks in a TLC at that show. We got to hang out backstage with the Carnies, shout out Nick and Carrie, and watched from the curtain, got to watch that match, which is a lifelong dream for sure. And then going to Mania, we're sitting with his friends and family that didn't think that, they thought they were at a signing or whatever. They didn't even know. Like, we knew that he was coming back, and they didn't know. So that moment for me was just, I mean, and then hearing the massive pop when the New Day comes out and, like, you know, introduces the Hardys, it was just, I don't think that'll ever be topped for me.
Dude, I wasn't even there. I didn't even experience that with you, but watching that on TV, I genuinely had no clue. This wasn't like one of those things that was leaked, like rumored, like, yo,
right,
the Hardys are coming back. Just like everything now is fucking leaked as soon as you hear it. But dude, when they came out, like I genuinely fucking like yelled, like, oh, like what? Like the fucking heart, like, dude,
it was incredible.
I was so fucking hyped. So I wasn't even there with that fucking awesome
It was
experience.
incredible.
But I totally agree. Like that is one of the most impactful returns because, like, dude, we hadn't seen them in years and no one expected that. They just wrestled. Yeah. They just fucking wrestled the Bucks like that. That was.
I feel like Jeff Hardy kayfabe really well.
I almost went with the Hardys as well, but I knew, Daniel, that you were going to say it. That's the reason I didn't.
Yeah.
I do have to give an honorable mention to what would have been, which I think would have been Edge had COVID not happened.
Probably, yeah, for sure. I would agree with that totally. I would agree with that.
So
totally.
He has but Edge has one of the most best Royal Rumble returns of all time.
Oh, totally. And I mean, yeah, I like this question though. I want to bring it up at least at the Big Four, because
Big Four. There you go.
I've got one for pretty much all of them. But yeah.
Yeah, because there's always somebody. That's when they always want to bring people back who haven't wrestled in forever. It's the biggins. Royal Rumble. There's tons of them because that's the one because you can debut so many people.
I also have to shout out Legion of Doom coming back for 13 for the street fight, which was one of the worst matches you've ever seen. But
God, yeah, we just talked about it last week.
Yeah. Oh, Sonny, Sonny in that outfit, bro. Oh, you could not beat it, especially in 1997. You could not beat it.
Speaking of Sonny, that's one thing I kind of forgot on the top end of the show. She was involved in a fatal car crash, driving 81 miles per hour drunk, smashing into a car that was just sitting on the shoulder.
She pooted.
She pooted. She also smashed that car into another car.
Yes. Yeah. So it involved 3 cars, and people died, and she didn't. She was drunk. So there you go, Sonny. Keep going to prison. Legacy alive.
R.I.P. All right. Yeah, that's gonna do it for us this week. Man, what a way to send it off. Next week we got the Baker's Dozen coming up. Jesse, who we got on the Baker's Dozen?
We have none other than Mr. Dylan Hales, who is a part of IWTV, a part of Southern Underground Pro Wrestling, a part of several other venerable wrestling institutions. We also have the one and only numero uno, Ichiban #1, Jaden Newman. IWTV just announced that they are broadcasting Uncharted Territory from Chattanooga this year as opposed to Beyond Wrestling, so that's very exciting. We get to talk about everything coming up on the Southern Underground Pro card that's happening on April 17th. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So Jaden fucking Newman?
Jaden fucking Newman.
Oh, okay. All right, sick.
Love it. I am super excited about it, man. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave us a 5-star review. That really, really, really helps the show. That's the best thing you can do for the show is to leave that 5-star review and maybe write a little note. You can always find the show at KayfabeCom on all of your socials except for TikTok. We're at KayfabeCom Pod there. You can always find me at Daniel Daybreak on any of your social media thingies. Wex, give them the script, baby. Where can they find you?
Oh, once again, you can always find your boy Wex at Wex, breaking the Lawson on all of your social media platforms.
Love it, love it, love it. Jesse Baker, tell them where to find you, bud.
You can find me at Jesse Baker Nash on both Twitter and Instagram, or regular old Jesse Baker on Facebook, or usually at the Exit Inn, where I am right now.
Love it, love it, love it. That's going to do it one more time for us this week. We'll see you guys next week. We're out. Peace.
Holla.